I'll tell you what, we're still really young this year too, and we're looking for a big step up from last year's freshman class. I think last year's freshman class surprised me a little bit. They did a little bit more than I thought they would do. There were some girls that actually were in their first year ever running cross country. They were track girls in high school and maybe played soccer in the fall and now decided they're going to be running year round. So girls like Steph Brezadola and Erin Callahan, I mean, they all took step ups and surprised me a little bit. So, you know, we'll see the big step up from freshman year to sophomore year. But you know, we do have a couple of upperclassmen that we're looking to for some big points for us. You know, and Olivia DeTore, one of our senior captains, and Kim Katzgrau as well. So I think everyone's in a role right now where everyone needs to take a little bit of a step up. You know, we lost Corinne Manella, who was our top runner the last couple years, but I think her work ethic is installed in a lot of these younger girls. And you know, we saw it this morning with our first tempo run of the year, how the girls went home this summer, they put the work in, and they're going to start filling those gaps in a little bit.
You were able to, you mentioned, you know, losing your top runner in Corinne. You get top 10 finishes in both the PSAC and the NCAA meet. Having, you know, you mentioned having that work ethic kind of trickle down to some of these younger kids.
Yeah.
Do you expect expectations to be a little heightened from where you were last year?
Yeah, you know, even with losing Corinne, I think we might be able to perform a little bit better as a team. Due to our girls being so young last year, they have experience, they know what to expect. So I think they're willing and they're able to take that step up. And then also I think, you know, around the conference, some of these schools have lost some pretty important individuals to their program with graduation. So, you know, with us being a younger team, you know, it kind of goes in cycles. I think, you know, we're on the upswing right now where some other programs might be on the decline a little bit. So we're going to kind of meet in the middle. You know, our biggest thing is our depth. We're not very deep on the women's side. We're talented, but, you know, our focus is we got to stay healthy right now.
Yeah. Talk about your two captains, both girls who've been with the program for 3 and 4 years, and just being able to provide so many young talent, that leadership quality.
Yeah, you know, these two individuals came a long way, Olivia DeTore and Kim Katzgrau. They were both walk-ons for us. Both have now, you know, over the last couple of years been in our top 7 or our top 5 and have performed, you know, with higher than my expectations were. So, you know, I think they're great vocal leaders. I think they're leaders that lead by example with putting the work in. So I don't think I could ask for a better couple girls to lead our younger group right now.
Talk about some of the girls that you could see kind of filling, not necessarily filling Corinne's void, but being able to kind of possibly be your top 1, 2, 3 runners.
Yeah, I think, you know, Steph Brezadola, last year was her first cross-country season ever, and she just took the bull by the horns there and went with it, and she was our number 2 runner most of the year. So this is her first year of year-round running. She came in this morning, we did a tempo run, and she's light years ahead of where she was last year. Lexi Donvort, you know, she was, you know, a mid-pack runner coming out of high school, ran around 20, a little over 20 minutes for 5K, and last track season ended up running 18:33 for us, which is a great improvement. She came in, did our tempo run this morning, and is about 4 minutes ahead of where she was last year. So she's going to be a really big surprise for us. And the third individual I'd say that had a great freshman year for us was Amanda Ferraro, who ran with Steph Brezadola basically side by side all year last year. And, you know, I see her helping us out as well.
Behind those 3, I mean, you got so many other girls. Who do you kind of see kind of competing for that type of starting position for you when you get to the postseason?
Yeah, well, I think Olivia DeTore will be there for us. I think Leah Talley, Shannon McChesney, Leah Spaniak, one of our freshmen, Lindsay Hoffman. I think that whole group there, I think they're going to be a real good group that's going to work together during workouts, during meets, and I think eventually as, you know, maybe October rolls around, as we get later on in the season, you're going to see those girls take a nice step up for us.
You mentioned, Leah, one of your only 2 newcomers this year with 1 freshman. How do you kind of see them blending into the program and their kind of role on this year's team?
Yeah, I think talent-wise, they're kind of right where our bigger group of girls are. You know, they showed this morning in our first tempo run this morning, they showed that they could handle it well. We had a nice group of 5 or 6 girls behind Steph and behind Lexi that were working great as a group. So, you know, it was encouraging for me to see that, and, you know, to see someone like Lindsay, you know, it was her first college workout ever, and, you know, she didn't show any fear. She went right into it and ran with some of the returning girls. So that's good to see. She's a pretty confident individual.
On the women's side, talk about some of the top teams in the region, and again, where you kind of see KU fitting into the mix.
Yeah, I think we're kind of mid-pack right now. I'm saying that before the season starts just because of how young we are. But, you know, like I said, this morning was very encouraging to see a lot of our sophomore class take big steps up from last year. So, you know, I think some of the stronger teams is going to be the Shippensburg women. I think the Bloomsburg women. I think another team that's really on the rise is Seton Hill. So they should be in the mix. And then after that, you know, I think anywhere from 4th to probably 10th place in our conference is pretty close. You know, Slippery Rock has some pretty good depth as well. I know Lock Haven has a nice little freshman group coming in that can help them out a lot. So I think a lot of it's going to be kind of, you know, pretty tight, you know, nip and tuck with places and stuff like that. So that's kind of the bigger group. But I think we're right in the middle of that group.
I know it's still early in preseason, but can you get a vibe about what kind of goals this group has for itself and where they'd like to see themselves come the end of the year?
Yeah, they want to improve over last year. You know, like I said, we lost Corinne, but I really think with the group that we have, I mean, I think we have 4 girls that can finish anywhere from, you know, 15th till about 35th place at the conference and region. And if you pack 4 girls in that tight with 18 schools in the conference, you're starting off with some pretty lower sticks. You know, another individual I think that's going to really improve us this year is Erin Callahan. I mean, she ran one meet for us last year, and she was coming off a stress fracture from her high school spring season. So I think she's going to be a big girl that's going to help us out.